Welcome everyone, I'm Jennifer Elliott. If we haven't met, welcome to Vinyasa. And as I was saying before, we're going to grab 2 blocks if you've got them. And I'm going to use a strap with a loop. Everyone has different straps. I'm going to start with a larger loop. I have a smaller strap today, and then we'll make it shoulder width by the end. So if you have it, grab it. Again, if not, no worries. And then if you don't have 2 blocks, I'm going to start actually without the blocks this evening just to give you a different sort of option. And I just folded up a blanket in half. So if you have 2 blocks, you can do a 2 block heart opener as I usually do. Just demoing that in case it's new. Just setting yourself on your blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks or you just want to explore something different, you can use the blanket like I've got it. So I just folded it in half. I'm going to lie over it like a cactus. So make sure that sort of right at my rib cage line. I'm going to take my arms onto the floor in cactus. So again, either 2 block heart opener, or you can be here over the blanket, or maybe you don't have a blanket, arms in cactus. Just take a few moments to get set up. I have knees bent, that feels nice on my back. You're welcome to make changes to your legs. Wherever you are, start to settle in. Unhinge the jaw, soften the eyes. And let's take a nice full inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, and with a sigh, exhale out. And then again, in through the nose. Open the mouth, audibly exhale out. In through the nose. This time, back out the nose. Just continue on your own, in and out through the nose. Moving it into Ujjayi breathing, so sort of softening your effort, but being a bit more specific with it. A couple more breaths here. And then while you're engaging in your breath, let's straighten the legs out on the floor if they weren't already there. Bring your legs together, so sort of like a Supta Tadasana, big toes touch. Press through your heels. Reach the arms overhead, interlace, turn your palms open. And whether you're on the blocks, on the blanket, or on the floor, lift your hands just a little bit and pull your front ribs down towards your spine. So floating ribs draw down and in. Really feel your upper back press firmly into your prop, whether it be the floor or anything else. And then bring the arms overhead, change the interlace of the fingers. We're still active in the rest of the body. Reach those arms back. And then as you do, firm those outer arms in, absorb the front ribs down and in, lift your navel up. One more breath, and release. Bend your knees. Make your way onto your side just to remove whatever prop is there. So as you press yourself up, move your props out of your way. We will use a strap and a block here in a moment, so grab at least the strap if you've got it. Return to your back and take the strap over your right foot. And again, I've got this fairly large loop in my strap. Now I'm going to slide the strap over my right leg, and then I'm going to slide the strap over my elbows so I can keep my hands in prayer position. And then I don't have the leg all the way straight. So for me, all the way straight is locking out the knee. I'm going to have a tiny micro bend, which pretty much feels and looks straight in any other way. And then I'm going to straighten the left leg out and lower it to the floor. So I'm stretching my hamstrings, but I don't want to have this be the deepest stretch. So get into the hamstrings, but wherever you're at, maybe back off a few percent. With the strap, if you're using it like I am, see if you can and draw the shoulder blades down, pressing them into the mat. And then absorb your front ribs down in towards the spine. If you don't have a strap, just hold the back of your leg. And then we can take the straps and just move them into the left hand, cross the right leg over, enjoy a nice twist. If the straight leg is too buzzy in the hip or the knee, then just bend that knee slightly. Bring the right leg back up. Put your left foot into the strap. And slide the strap over the elbows, if that's what you're using. And again, not all the way straight, which locks out the knee. Give it a tiny micro bend, and then straighten out the right leg. Take the straps to the right hand, cross the leg over. Find your way into a twist. And then bring yourself back up. Pull the knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. If you have a block, grab it. We'll do one more pose on our back. So I'm going to take the block, and the short side of the block is against the left thigh. I'm going to hold it there with the back of the left arm, not the elbow tip, but more the back of the tricep. If you don't have a block, then it will be most likely elbow tip because it'll be elbow and knee together. So left arm and knee into the block or into each other. Hold and resist. Right foot, right hand to the ceiling. Left side is fixed, right side is your mover side. So inhale, right hand back, foot forward. Exhale, bring it back together. Just move slow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, return. Now continue on your own. If this bothers your lower back, don't go as far, or you can bend the knee. We'll just skip it all together and enjoy a rest. We'll be here a few more cycles, maybe 5 more. Bring yourself to center, switch sides. So take your block to the right thigh, back of the right arm. Resist to left hand, left foot to the ceiling. Inhale, move the left side. Exhale, it returns. Inhale, move. Exhale, return. All right, continue on your own and keep resisting that right side. This is actually developed from a way that you can do core sitting in a chair. So you can imagine this right side as if you were sitting in the chair, you could resist that thigh and elbow together. The left leg wouldn't even need to move in that case. All right, couple more. And return. Knees to the chest, you can move that prop away. Rock up to seated or however you'd like to make your way up. And let's take about a minute or so to get into down dog. So you can move through some cat-cows, child's pose or two. Give yourself a little bit of time. I'll call it 10 breaths maybe, about a minute, to get into downward facing dog. Great. If you're just joining, welcome. Nice to have everyone. So as you're moving through these cat-cows or whatever you've decided to move through, notice, why did you take those particular movements? Sometimes we move just because that's what we always do. Sometimes we move because we're really listening to the body and that's where it wants to be. So there's no wrong answer, just starting to observe. Observe your motivation for movement. Start to find your way into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Let's shift ourselves forward into plank, shoulders right over wrists, and consider walking the feet back if you weren't long enough. Spin up from the inner thighs, and then lift the hips up and back again, downward facing dog. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale, back to down dog. One more on your own. And then when you find your way into plank, start to set your knees down. Now, some of you will leave them down, others will tap and then bring them back up. So either continue tapping the knees down and bringing them back into plank, or just set the knees down and hang out for a moment. So 2 more taps if you're still going. And then on the second tap, leave the knees on the ground. Everybody lean forward, elbows bend back, and slowly lower yourself all the way down to your belly. When you arrive on your belly, take your hands off of your mat, a couple of inches. The hands are in line with the shoulders. Be on the finger pads and have those elbows point up. So a nice 90 degrees in the elbows. Root down through the toenails, press down through the finger pads. Inhale, lift your heart and your navel, intimidating cobra. And exhale, lower. Reach back through your toes. Inhale, lift your heart, pull your navel up, and release. One more. Inhale, lift your heart. Don't lift your head so much. Look on the horizon, lift from your sternum, not your chin, and release. Hands by your side, body press up, table or hands and knees, and lift up and back, downward facing dog. So as always, I give lots of options, or some are intuitive to you, so take it up, take it down, however you need. Let's raise the right leg up behind us to the height of the hip. Spin up from the inner thigh. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Press into the palms as you lift that knee high. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, knee to the left arm. Keep shoulders over wrists. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the foot next to the right thumb tip. Drop the back knee down, pat it if you need with the mat or the blanket. Arms rise, Anjaneyasana. The scissor the thighs together. So front heel, back knee, pull to the center to stabilize. And then slide the right arm under the right, eagle arms. Or if this feels like a lot right away, give yourself a hug. So keep engaging the inner thighs to stabilize. And then like cat-cow, inhale, lift the heart and fingertips. And then exhale, lightly curl the upper body in, but really stabilize the legs. Inhale, lift the heart and fingertips. Exhale, gently curl. Keep squeezing inner thighs to stabilize. One more, inhale. And exhale. Bring yourself to center. Open the arms like a book. Bring your palms together into prayer. As you sink into the hips, you can lightly twist to the right. Elbow over the knee, but pull the navel into twist instead of using that arm as leverage. Keep lengthening the spine. Use the abdominals to turn. And then use the abdominals to unwind. Hands on the floor or blocks frame your front foot. Hinge back, front toes come up, Ardha Hanumanasana. Again, there's a little bit of a bend in the knee. Dig your heel in, pull your chest forward. Find your breath. Shift forward. Hands on the floor, frame your foot if you can. Hands remain planted without lifting hips. Step back to plank. Tip forward, lower chaturanga. Hold 2 breaths. 1, lift the hips. 2, all the way down. Lift your heart, cobra, or at any time up dog. But see if you can get out of the habit of looking up. Try to look straight ahead, chin level with the floor. Roll the shoulder heads back instead. Push into the feet to lift. And then downward facing dog. The left leg lifts to the height of the hip. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale the leg back. Exhale, knee to the right arm. Inhale back. Exhale, knee to nose, step the foot next to the left thumb tip, back knee drops down. Arms rise, Anjaneyasana. Scissor the thighs, left arm under right, or however you decided to work before. Maybe it was that hug. When you're ready, inhale, lift the heart and fingertips. Exhale, lightly curl. Twice more on your own. Inhale. Exhale. All right, once you come back up, open the arms to a cactus, then close them up like a book into heart. Sink into the hips, twist slowly to the left, elbow over the knee. Avoid cranking. Use the abdominals as the turn, as that rotator facing the side wall. Keep hugging the inner thighs. Use your breath here. And then use the abdominals to unwind. Hands down, hinge back, stretch the hamstrings on this side. We want to avoid rounding the back. So bend the knee enough that you can pull the chest forward and really get some length here. You don't have to be any closer to the leg to feel this in the hamstrings. Shift forward, hands on the ground, step to plank. Tip forward, chaturanga, hold. Some of you right to up dog, otherwise lower to the ground and take your back bend of choice. Downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Check in. See if you can pull your front ribs up towards your spine. Spin your inner thighs back as you lift through the toes. We'll glance up, gaze up, bend your knees, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Arms rise, reach high, palms press the top, and exhale, hands to heart. Okay, yogis, we're here. We've arrived. Surya Namaskar, sun salute. So arms by your sides. Take an inhale, reach them high, palms press. Exhale, forward fold, soften the knees on the way down. Inhale up halfway, chest forward. Exhale, step to plank or jump to chaturanga. Move through your vinyasa. Meet in down dog. 5 breaths here. You can always shorten and widen your stance. Especially if the heels aren't rooted, sometimes just bringing the feet up a little bit or widening will help get more effort into your legs and out of your shoulders. All right, when you're ready, inhale high to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale up halfway, chest pulls through. Exhale, fold. Arms reach to the sides, palms high, come all the way up to the top to stand. And exhale, hands to heart. Round 2, inhale, arms reach. Palms press. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, step or jump back. Vinyasa or right to down dog. Take a few breaths here again. See if you can imagine that you have little suction cups at your finger pads. Can you grip and kind of play with lifting the palm? Not the heel of the hand, but the palm, almost like you wanted to hide a quarter underneath your palm. Inhale, high to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or hop. Top of the mat. Come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Arms rise. Reach high. Palms press. Navel in and up. Exhale, hands to heart. All right, we're just going to do one more. Inhale, arms reach. Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or jump back, Vinyasa. All right, take a few breaths here. And live, really going to do like a half a round more. So from where you are, come high to your toes, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop, top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Reach the arms high, palms press at the top. And exhale, hands to heart. All right, one last one or half a round. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold. Maybe hands flat. Inhale up halfway, soften the knees. Don't be afraid to bend them if you need. Exhale, step or jump back. Vinyasa, we'll meet in down dog. All right, from down dog, raise your right leg up halfway behind you. Inhale. Exhale, step your foot to the center of the hands. Anchor the back heel down and come on up, warrior two. When you get to warrior two, sink into your lunge. Really try to lengthen the inner thigh and strengthen that outer right hip. The arms are into your T. Take an inhale and reverse. Left arm behind the back, right arm reaches high. And then exhale, bring your right elbow down onto the right thigh. Stay there, even if normally you go deeper. Take the top arm high and then reach it straight out to the sides. Not forward or back, but sort of more on the long side of your mat. Turn your palm forward to the front of your mat. Thumb is up. And then go slow as you can, taking that arm across the body. So we're going to eventually have that arm up by the ear. We're going slow because we want to wrap the tricep down and keep the thumb pointing up. So the closer that arm gets to you, can you spin the bicep up? And then if I really get the bicep to spin up, the thumb up, my chest closes. So then I really want to work bottom right ribs out, top ribs back, while continuing to wrap that outer arm down, that inner arm up. You're welcome to drop the right arm lower if you'd like, but for me today, the work is really this upper arm. Navel in, couple more breaths. All right, inhale, rise, warrior two again. Straighten the right leg, maybe slightly shorten your stance. Shift the hips back and reach forward into Trikonasana. You don't have a block hand on shin, but make sure you're pressing your shin into your hand so you're not hyperextending. You've got that block behind the ankle, which might be nice. Pull the right buttock back, lengthen the sideways. Top arm is up to you. Maybe you do the same thing, but get there a different way. Turn that top palm and extend it over. Really work on lengthening the bottom waist, pulling the front ribs in. Got two more breaths. You can look down, sweep the top hand down, come up onto the back toes so that you're in a lunge. We have to adjust this front foot back, knee over ankle. Left hand on floor or block, right arm reaches high. Stay or stack the feet if you're interested in side plank. If you're in side plank, it's actually quite similar to triangle. We don't want to round this upper back, so absorb the top ribs in, lengthen the bottom waist so you're evenly long. Top hip tips forward. And then maybe you extend that top arm over. Thumb points up again. Find your way to plank. And then yogi's choice. Vinyasa is out of push-ups or right to down dog. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, step it to the center of the hands. Drop the back heel down. Come on up, warrior two. When you get to your pose, take a moment just to settle in. Lengthen the inner thigh. Strengthen that outer left hip in. The right arm to the small of the back. Left arm high, reverse. And then set your right elbow down on your thigh, even if you can go deeper. Take the right arm to the sky and then just send it straight to the side wall. Rotate the palm forward, thumb is up, and go as slow as you can. Take that arm across the body, but continuing to spin the bicep up so the thumb points up. Lengthen the bottom waist as you lengthen from hip towards armpit. Some of you are dropping that bottom hand lower, just personal preference. Take a few breaths here. Build some heat in the legs. Really root through the heels. Take an inhale, return, warrior two. Straighten the legs, shorten your stance possibly. Shift the hips back and find your way into your triangle pose. Trikonasana, lengthen the bottom waist. Personal preference, how you move that top arm. Look down, sweep the right hand down, come up onto the back toes. Maybe adjust that leg. Right hand is rooted, left arm reaches, twist, lift the back leg if you're staying there, or stack. Some of you moved into that side plank. In side plank, I often see the hips going way high to the ceiling and lifting through the sideways. So again, tip the top hip forward, lengthen the bottom waist, maybe top arm over. All right, find your way to plank. Take your vinyasa, your set of push-ups, or right to down dog. We're actually going to meet in child's pose. You can go there anytime. Out props, it's just a little bit not as nice of space for your face. If this is not for you, child's pose is great. Slowly back out. Return to downward facing dog. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step it through to warrior two again and rise. Same sequence, just a little faster, and we'll add on. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle of choice. Inhale, warrior two, straighten the leg. Exhale, triangle. So again, just one movement per breath. Inhale, return, warrior two. And then straighten the front leg, parallel the toes facing the side wall. So you can use your blocks if you'd like. I'm going to place my hands on my hips, lift the chest, inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Hands either go on the floor or on those blocks in front of you. Just depends on how your hamstrings are feeling. So pull your chest forward. Place your left hand on the floor or block right underneath your heart, and then reach your right arm to the ceiling. You can look to the side wall, up or down. We want to keep the low back flat. Unless there's any low back concern, then let those hips do whatever they want. Lean the weight just a little forward so you're out of your heels. Hold the chest through. Good, nice, Joanna. Good, nice, Lynn. All right, bring your right hand down. Hold the chest through and then do the same thing on the other side. Right arm down, left arm up. Really root down, find your breath. Hug those outer ankles in, outer hips to the center. And bring the top hand down. Look up on inhale. Exhale, turn right. So you end up just in a standard lunge. Your right foot is next to your right thumb tip. Take your back foot, step it next to your left thumb tip or hip width apart. Look up halfway, find length. And then bend your knees, drop your seat, sweep your arms up, chair pose. Lift your navel. Weight in the heels. Take a moment. Slowly rise. Arms out to the sides as you draw right arm under left again. Eagle arms or give yourself a hug, whatever made sense for you before. Sit back into your chair pose again. Weight in the heels. You can't see it, so you've got to feel that your toes are light. The weight is really in your feet. Lift the navel. Sit back deeper, and like we did in our lunge, inhale, reach the fingertips and heart. And then exhale as you start to curl, fold. Slouch your armpits over your knees. See how close you can get to your body. You may have to take those feet a little wider. Let the belly draw between. And then your hands reach for opposite ankles. Look up on inhale, like Ardha Uttanasana, pull your chest forward. And then pulling on your ankles, draw yourself in a little closer. Again, inhale, look up, pull the chest through, and then exhale, drive yourself a little closer. Place your hands on the floor, probably maybe 4 inches in front of your feet. Lift your heels, take your knees close to your armpits, and then just lean, just push your shins into your triceps. Maybe that's it. If this feels okay, lean even more forward. Try to get those elbows right over the wrists. And then some of you will lift one foot or both. Try to lift the feet, drop the seat, look forward, find your breath. Bakasana. Breathe. Yeah, so everyone feels a little different here. So the way we got into it keeps the hips a little higher than normal, but it's a good way to get into it. So now if you're into it, drop the hips, lift the head a little bit. Good, nice, Troy, that looked great. Good, some of you are going to shoot the feet back. However you get there, we're all ending up in downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths. Inhale, the left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, warrior 2. 1 movement per breath, come on up. Inhale, reverse it. Exhale, side angle of choice. Again, just enough that we can kind of move with the breath. Inhale, warrior 2, straighten it up. Exhale, triangle, Trikonasana. Inhale, rise, warrior 2 again. Straighten the leg, parallel the toes facing the side wall. And then consider grabbing your strap. If Gomukhasana arms are fine for you, you don't need the strap, but I like to use it anyway, even when I'm feeling good. So you're facing the side wall again. You've got that right hand up with or without the strap. Turn the palm behind. It's the same working the tricep in. And then set the hand on the shoulder blade. Left arm underneath. Hold the strap or walk the hands together. Maybe the hands meet. So wherever you are, lengthen through the elbow tip. Hug the elbow in towards the face. Check out the feet. Make sure they're on the same line. Hug the outer ankles in. Inhale here. Exhale, start to forward fold. The hips go back to counterbalance. We've got to lean forward. Think length and not lowering. So lift from the elbow tip. Lift from the heart. Some of you will stay, some of you will fold all the way down. It just really depends on what's happening in your hamstrings. You also can stay standing if this is too much in the hamstring. Couple of breaths. Lead with your heart. Come up slowly. Gotta do the other side. So take that strap into the left hand. Bring that elbow in. Right arm underneath, holding the strap or your hand, whatever you'd like. Lift and lengthen. And then exhale, fold. Take your time, move into your pose. Unlock the knees. Instead, lift the kneecaps and lift the quads. So lifting and engaging versus locking back. Okay, we'll take another breath. And then slowly rise. Bring your hands to your hips. Remove that strap. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Hands to the ground. You can come up halfway, firm the thighs, and then fold back in. Some of you are moving into tripod arms. Some of you are moving into a tripod headstand. So it just depends on how you're feeling. If you're in tripod, lower the legs, come down. Everybody gaze up, turn left when you're ready. Find your lunge. Back foot up to the front, hip width. And join us when you're ready if you're not quite here. Bend your knees, drop your seat, find chair pose, and rise. Left arm under right, eagle arms. Sit back into chair. Inhale, lift the chest and fingertips. Exhale, fold. Slot over the knees. Place the hands on the floor here. Lift through those heels. Shift forward. Find your Bakasana if you choose. Some of you will shoot it back. Go right into your up dog and down dog. All right. Last one standing. So inhale, the right leg lifts. Exhale, step your foot next to your right thumb tip. Take the back foot, move it a little left and up so you can anchor it nicely for warrior with feet, but stay low. Right elbow inside of that right knee and wrap it up, eagle arms. Slowly rise into eagle arms in warrior one. All right. So pull the right hip back, left hip forward, lift the navel. Couple of breaths. Keep the arms, but move on to the back toes so that it's easier to neutralize that back leg and you're now in crescent. Inhale, lift the heart and fingertips just slightly. And then exhale, start to fold in, lift the navel in. And then see if you can keep the arms as you stay low and launch forward into warrior three. Fingertips forward in these eagle arms if you can. Heel back. Breathe. And then keep the arms, consider standing up, sweeping that back leg around the front and sitting back into chair, or more specifically, eagle pose. You can hook that foot behind the calf or not. Let the knee tell you what to do. Keep the hips nice and even. So hip bones facing forward. Open the arms to a T. Send that front leg back again into warrior three. And step back into lunge. Hands on the ground. Okay, reach the right leg high from your down dog, three-legged dog. Just open up the hip, bend your knee, push your foot behind you. You can explore. Some of you I know like to flip the dog. And return. All right, let's finish our standing. Left leg lifts. Exhale, step it to the left thumb tip. Right foot adjusts back so we can find warrior one legs. Left elbow inside as you wrap up those eagle arms. Inhale, rise. Find your warrior one with eagle arms or something similar. Make your way onto the back toes. Crescent. Inhale, lift the heart and fingertips. Exhale, slowly fold in, pull the navel in, stay low but not resting on the thigh, and then launch forward and pick up the back leg, warrior three with eagle arms if you can. Work in opposites to create balance. Fingers forward, heel back. Come on up, back leg around the front, eagle pose, sink in. Warrior three, arms to a T. Step back lunge, down dog. Three-legged dog, left leg reaches. Open the hip, bend the knee, flip the dog. If you have props, watch out. and return, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your heels, forward fold. Either stand on your hands for Padahastasana or grab your elbows. Just a moment to pause. Bend your knees, roll up slowly like a rag doll. Use your abdominals to support your spine as you rise. Go slow, head is the last to come up. All right, beautiful. So we're going to move into inversions, core inversions. And if your shoulders are done, you don't want to be upside down, or you just don't want to do what I'm doing, you can do legs at the wall, legs in the air. I'm going to do Pinchamayurasana, or at least attempt. I'm pretty tired from my day, but we'll see. So I'm taking my strap, and I'm going to make this loop smaller. So if I slit it, oh, I can already tell it's too small. If I slit it just above my elbows, then I have shoulder width. Now, I could kind of already tell, but this is pulling my elbows in just slightly, so this is too narrow. So I'm going to go just a little wider. And then I'm going to move my mat to the wall. You can do this without, but the wall is nice. Why not, if you have it? And if you don't want to do this pose and you have an inversion practice you're into, go for it. So I'm going to lie on my belly, put that strap just above the elbows, and I'm going to find Sphinx. Now make sure the strap is above the elbow crease, not at all on the forearm. I believe you can still see. Okay. So from here, I'm going to squeeze the biceps towards one another, make the strap a little loose. Tuck the toes under and lift into plank on the forearms. You might even just explore this pose. I'm going to be here a couple of breaths. So I can squeeze the forearms, press back through the heels, heart forward. And then when we're ready, we'll walk the feet in for dolphin. Lifting out of the shoulders and gazing up so my head is not on that strap, and I'm going to take one leg up, and maybe that's it. Or if I feel comfortable, I'm going to kick to the wall. And you can find the wall and bend your knees, almost like it's bridge. Squeeze the knees together and reach your tailbone up, lift out of your shoulders. Maybe straighten one leg, really squeeze the knees together, press through the heel. Maybe you add the second heel, pushing up, finding your breath. All right, so take that on your own, or you've got legs up the wall, legs in the air. If you've got more than one round in you, kick up with the second leg. If you're not interested or you're done, legs up the wall or in the air, we're going to end up with legs in the air, block under the seat in just a moment. Everybody's in a slightly different place in their practice. If you're still moving through this, you're enjoying your inversions, go for it. But I know, if you're like me, it's been a long day. Maybe you're tired or you're done. Our inversions weren't for you today. And so we're going to do a gentle inversion by putting the block under the seat, feet to the ceiling. So everyone will end up here, most likely. We've been working today throat chakra. So we did a lot with the shoulders, the arms, the hands. Your throat center is the bottleneck for what your mind thinks, your body feels. We communicate or express it here. It could be through the voice, through sound or resonance. But a lot of times we express ourselves through writing or sort of different actions with hands. Even your yoga practice is a form of communication. So go ahead and bend our knees, hold onto the right knee, put your left foot on the ground. So moving in towards a bridge. You could just stay with that left knee bent or straighten it out. If you feel okay in your lower back, maybe the block goes higher to get a little deeper of a hip flexor stretch, but take care of you. If the low back is not feeling good, just remove the block altogether. So a lot of times in the new year, it has just worked out. I've taught the chakras one per week for like the last, 15 years or something like that. And it almost always works out that root chakra is on this first week of January. And this time, it ended up that I was in throat. And instead of just starting over, I thought, let's go with that. What did a lot of us do? A lot of us sort of wrote out our intentions, our New Year's resolutions, right? So that was the first act of making our thoughts a reality, was writing them down, speaking them aloud, right? Before we could have action, we had to have sort of that way to express it. All right, go ahead and switch legs. Find your breath here. With everything, there is balance. So in throat center, it's the balance of our ability to speak and hear our truth. And so sometimes what we're learning to do is get more still, more quiet, so that we can listen within, or to listen to others, maybe to process what they're saying. Set your feet down onto the ground. Knees are bent. Remove your block, unless you've decided that makes sense for you. We're going to lower to the ground and find bridge. So feet are inner hip width. Hands grab the edges of your mat. Pull it tight and away as you walk the arm bones underneath. Peel your hips up. Find your bridge pose, really rooting through the inner feet. You can stay, or if you can, interlace the hands underneath you. It's a great counter in the shoulders to the work that we did. Really try to walk those arm bones underneath. Take a few breaths. Consider keeping the hands interlaced as you lower your hips down onto your interlaced hands. If that's too much, then just sort of remove it. And then consider soles of the feet together into butterfly. You don't want to have anything that causes any sharp shooting pain in the wrists or shoulders or neck. So those are your signals to back off. Guide the legs back together. If the hands are still interlaced, then just peel the hips up into one last bridge. Remove the hands, paint the spine slowly down to the floor. When the hips land, windshield wiper your knees. And then we're going to move into pigeon to finish out, but if you're really happy on your back, then you can just stay there and cross right ankle over the left knee to thread the needle. So pigeon pose on your back if that feels really nice, or you can just bring yourself up into single pigeon. One of the reasons that we sort of connect with our breath in the beginning is really just to train our ability to listen, right? We want to catch the sound of our breath. It gives us a place of focus, a dristi. Great way to center the mind. We're also training our listening skills. If you're in, thread the needle, keep the legs, but drop the legs to the left into a twist and just open up that right knee or take a standard twist. If you're in pigeon pose, walk yourself upright. You can just push the top of the back foot into the mat to stretch the hip flexor. Or if it's feeling appropriate, you can reach for that back leg and you can hold the inside of the foot. Maybe you get into the wrist or elbow crease. And if that's the case, hand up and maybe you take those same Gobukasana arms. And then gradually unwind. Make your way to side two of whatever pose you were taking. And settle into this side to finish off. If you're in thread the needle, slowly drop your legs to the right. If you're in pigeon, walk yourself upright, lifting the heart. You can stay or reach for the back ankle with that same right hand. Unwind. Depending on where you're at, take a finishing pose for you. So it might be, I'm here, so I'm seated, so I'm going to take a butterfly and seated forward fold. If you're on your back, it might be happy baby or plow. So just take a moment to do those finishing postures that really help you to feel complete. So think of neutralizing, calming, cooling, centering. When you're done, everyone's in a different place. Start to make your way to Shavasana. I'll set a timer for our Shavasana. If the low back is tender, it just feels nice. Maybe you didn't get a chance to do the inversion. You can do legs up the wall. I'm just going to set my blanket on top of my props here. We'll be here just 3 minutes, not long. But just a chance to check in, observe. So as you settle, let the whole practice fall away. Just be open to receive. Maybe it's just receiving your next breath, maybe an insight or an intuition. You're just listening to the sounds around. Start to draw our attention back. Arms overhead again. We've come full circle. How do we feel now? Bend your knees, maybe yawn. Roll to your side. And eyes closed or partially closed as you slowly press upright to seated. Hands to your heart in gratitude for all the work your body has done. And let's learn to use our voice, speaking our truth as we seal in our practice with one collective Om. Take an inhale. Lift your heart, bow your head. Namaste.